We teach our children to be nice, but anyone who has siblings has experienced how trying to be nice can make us miserable. You know, we're in the car and our sibling, they're poking us in the rib, or they're flicking us on the ear, or they're blowing on the back of our neck, and we try to be nice. We try to ignore them, not say anything, don't make a scene. But eventually we can't take it anymore, and we yell at them or we poke them in their rib. And then our parents yell at us along with our sibling. And we try to explain how they were the ones who started it, but our parents don't have any of it. They say, I don't care who started it, I'm ending it. And so when we were nice, when we didn't make a scene, our parents were happier. And we learned that even if we just complain about our sibling, Mom, Johnny's poking me, that complaint alone frustrates our parents and upsets them. Our parents, they want their kids to behave. And so we learn one way to keep our parents happy is to just bite our tongue, to suffer in silence. And when we do that, it seems like we're being nice, but oftentimes we don't feel very happy. In our gospel, Bartimaeus, he was fed up with being nice. He was blind, he couldn't work, he couldn't play sports with his buddies, couldn't watch the sunset, couldn't care for a wife and children. Just walking around town was a chore for him. He was profoundly afflicted and profoundly suffering. But the townspeople would say, he deals with it so well. He never complains, he doesn't get drunk, he doesn't yell at you if you walk by him and don't give him any money. He just accepts what he's given. He says please and thank you. He's such a nice man. But beneath that calm exterior, there was a storm of misery and suffering. Humans ought to see, and Bartimaeus was blind. He was suffering, and he couldn't stand to be polite anymore. And so, when the crowd was hanging on to Jesus' every word, when that crowd comes before Bartimaeus, he doesn't stay silent. Instead, he interrupts their conversation. He shouts out loudly and makes a scene. He draws everyone's attention to himself. I am not okay. I am suffering. I need salvation. And when Bartimaeus did that, the crowd wasn't calling him nice anymore. I imagine they said, Bartimaeus, be quiet. We're not here to listen to your moanings and groanings. We came here to see Jesus, not some blind man. You're being rude. I can also imagine Bartimaeus' response. No, you don't understand. I can't take it anymore. I can't work. I have no friends. No one stops to talk to me. My life is meaningless. Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. This misery of Bartimaeus, it's ugly. It's shameful. It isn't nice. But it is true. And in this broken world, Jesus does not call us to be nice. Jesus calls us to make a scene so that the truth can be heard. When a classmate makes fun of the kid who's always picked last, it could be easier to not say anything, to look away. But that would leave that kid blind to their value and dignity. When a loved one's drinking habit makes us feel worried and anxious, it could be easier to not say anything, to keep the peace. But that would leave our loved one blind to the hurt they were causing. When we feel overwhelmed by a frightful diagnosis or depressed by an ongoing medical condition, we can hold it in and put on a cheerful face. But that would leave our loved ones blind to who we truly are. And whatever sins we commit, it can feel easier to bottle it up inside instead of coming to confession. But that would leave us blind to God's merciful love. Brothers and sisters, I wish that it was enough to just be nice, that loving and being loved was as easy as pie. But the world is broken, and so love involves pain and difficulty. Love requires making a scene, letting people know that things are not all right. And if we do that, if we look the ugliness of the world in its face, then Jesus will show us how beautiful this world can truly be.